Okay, the time is 4 o'clock. I will go ahead and call the Plan Commission meeting to order on Tuesday, November 26th, at City Hall and via Zoom. Roll call, please.
Chairperson Manager Houseman,
Here.
Director Sadley,
Here.
Council Representative Schultz,
Here.
Commissioner Highfield, Commissioner Huff, Commissioner Scholl.
Here.
Commissioner Kesnick is excused absence, so I will keep an eye to see if the other two appear.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum of 4, so we will move forward with the first item on the agenda, which is a public hearing relating to a zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property located at 211 Memorial Drive, parcel number 22605140312 from single family residential RS5 to institutional. This is zoning map amendment 2024-02. Before we start the public hearing, we will hear from Jed Drager, our building inspector, zoning administrator.
Hello, yes. So as you said, this is a proposed zoning map amendment. The property in question here is currently zoned single family, SR5 zoning. However, it is being used was previously being used as a dental office. And proposed use and future use would be personal and professional services. That is not currently allowed in the SR5 zoning, nor does it allow for a conditional use permit for that zoning that it currently has. They're proposing to switch that to an institutional zoning, which would be similar to the other zonings that are intermixed in the area with the hospital and other clinics. So in 2020, when we did a zoning change of our zoning ordinance, went through and most of the properties were attempted to be designated with their current use. This is, we are considering as more of a cleanup, as this one might have been missed, as it has been a commercial property used for those personal and professional services for some time. But however, it was zoned as single family. The owner is proposing to switch to the institutional because it keeps with the overwhelming area, which has institutional already, and would allow for them to go beyond just a dental office, which is what the current conditional use permit on the property specifies. So they would not be able to bring a different tenant in for any other use other than that dental office. So when we're looking at these, it has to meet the general requirements for an institutional. It meets all the lot requirements. So in general, it would be allowed and is fluid with the surrounding area. The comp plan also shows this as a neighborhood area, which does allow for intermixing of the institutional zoning within the neighborhood. I guess with that, I guess I'll leave it open for the public hearing. I did hear, I should point out, from 2 of the local property owners who were mostly just expressing interest and curiosity on it, not necessarily a concern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Matter is later on the agenda for action, so we will entertain questions from the Plan Commission at that time. At this time, I will open the public hearing relating to this matter and see if there's anybody here in the audience who would like to speak on this matter. Again, this is a public hearing for the zoning map amendment for 211 Memorial Drive to change from single family zoning to institutional zoning. Can you come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record?
Good afternoon, and my name is Mary Benson, and I'm at 202 Memorial Drive, across from the street from the property you're talking about. My family has lived there 35 plus years. And as with anything that's happened over the years with the property, our biggest concerns continue to be that we're able to have proper snow removal of our leaf and our garbage pickup. And through the years, we've battled some problems with that, especially with the parking, that anything that goes across the street entails due to employees and customers parking on the street. We've been able through the years to work with the city. They've allowed us to put our leaves in the median there, which has been awesome. And worked with the neighbors, whether it was a bag of candy or whatever was needed, to have them not park where needed, because I couldn't get some kind of a permit to let things be picked up and cleaned up in our area. So we'll just continue to have those kinds of concerns, since I don't know exactly institutional what kind of a traffic level that would be. When we did send a note to Mr. Dreiger, and it seems like it would not be something that would increase our traffic level with an institutional versus probably the where it was now. It was probably at its highest level, being a dental office. But we did, even through the years, have an accident caused just because of people parking into your driveway. Could happen anywhere, but just with the additional volume there. And one other thing is the fact that 4th Street has been partially closed. I know you'd probably have to do some kind of a testing to see if the traffic's increased in our area, but I think as at a personal level, now that we're retired and we see the flow every day, we definitely have incurred more traffic to that area because of 4th Street closing. So again, additional things to that area are a concern. And we have an ongoing drainage problem on 106 in Sherman. I think that'll be addressed when our street is replaced in the upcoming years due to water main breaks. We've had 5 on Memorial Drive in the last number of years. So that, again, with drainage, we've got to send someone out to clean out the ditch when the rain goes crazy. So when there's cars and stuff there, it just makes issues. So if, you know, we've been able to be friendly with our neighbors throughout the years and hope to continue that, whoever moves into the area. So
Great.
my concerns.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I think some of these things are items that definitely we can take a look at with a conditional use permit or with whatever use that comes in there in the future. So anybody else wishing to speak at the public hearing? Okay, I will close the public hearing and we will move on to item 3B, which is review and possible action relating to the minutes of the November 12th, 2024 Plan Commission meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
Move to accept the minutes of the November 12th, 2024 Plan Commission meeting.
A second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I believe that motion carries unanimously. Item 3C is review and possible recommendation to the city council relating to a public monument review, an Eagle Scout project to install a bike repair station located at the Rotary Train Depot. This is Public Monument Review 2024-04. We have Mr. Dayton, our Director of Parks and Recreation. We also have our Eagle Scout as well. So we'll start with Mr. Dayton.
Yes, thank you. Today I've got Landon here and he approached us a while back about this idea of installing a bike repair station along the bike trail. And so we brought this to, I'll give a brief explanation and then I'll let Landon take over from there. But we did take this to Parks Board, or Park and Rec Board, to kind of review and give their input as far as the location. There were several locations that were honed in on, and then from there, working with Landon and the Parks and Rec Board, we zeroed in on the train depot along the Glacial River Bike Trail. A couple other things I want to touch on before I pass this over to Landon. As far as the comprehensive land use plan, there are a couple of chapters that that we do touch on that this does line up with, as far as like our future planning for the city. So we are in line with that, and with that, I'll pass it over to Landon. He'll give a short presentation, and then I'll also be here for any other questions that you may have. All right, come on, Landon.
Good afternoon. My name is Landon Stachel. I have been in scouting over half my life, and I'm now with Troop 134 in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. And we actually meet just down the road from where the meeting's being held today. So my presentation is for my proposal of a public bike work stand. It is designed to be outdoors and to be vandal and tamper resistant. That's nice. All right. Oh,
Hold on just
Hold
a
on.
second, Landon.
oh, okay. There we
Okay,
go.
should be back in business now.
All right, thank you. So my project overview is a publicly accessible bike repair stand and a online and publicly available free to use website with videos that include step-by-step instructions. And the instructions will involve fixing a flat tire, adjusting the steering, adjusting the brakes, adjusting the gear shifting, and how to fix the brakes. And I have a Trek bike at home that I like to ride. I rode it to and from high school before I got a car, and I really do like that bike. I remember multiple times with me and my family biking on the bike trail, and it's been a lot of fun. The bike stand is designed to be vandal resistant, and as you can see on the photos, there are cables holding the tools in place. The stand in the bottom right has them on a set length cable. The stand in the top left has the cables stored on the inside, away from the weather, and when you need them, you can just pull them out. It's like a retractable lanyard for them. It can be removed for maintenance or other fixing or repair needs, and it can be outdoors and it's mounted on a concrete pad, whether the pad is a flat pad or a column. The pentalobe on the screen is a pentagon style nut. It can also be found on top of fire extinguishers. It's designed not to be able to be removed with standard tools. You need a special socket and tool to remove it. I broke it down for my sake into multiple phases. Currently, we're in phase one, which is the current plan. It's the planning phase, and then going to fundraising, then to purchasing, and then preparation of the installation site, actual installation, and then working with the scouts in my troop to make the online toolbox, as I'd like to call it. The possible installation locations, as Ben has stated, we have zeroed in on one. And on the map here, you can see a dotted yellow line, which is where the bike path is, and a couple of the locations we were talking about. The first location that we were talking about was the municipal lot just behind this building here. You can see the red dot on the screen on the map where it would generally be. Then we have the Lions Park Pavilion across the street from the fireside. We have the Rotary Depot building, which is the location that we've kind of come up with and decided on. And then the main large benefit I like about this spot is they're all along streets with many people. It's gonna be harder for bad actors to try to tamper with it or mess with it, especially if there's always people around. Next spot is the Bicentennial parking lot, which is up by the river. And then the Farmco Lane parking lot, which is past the fireside. It's behind the Quick Trip. It's a little away from the main street. Then phase two of fundraising is asking for donations from businesses, getting public donations, and other scout fundraisers. As in our scouting troop, we have different roles. I am the SPL, the assistant quartermaster, the webmaster. So yes, our troop does have a website. It's really nice, makes life easy. And I also do the troop calendar. So our last meeting this past Sunday was a planning meeting where we planned out the next couple of months and fundraisers and all of that. Uh-oh. Still on. So there we go. Thank you. Phase four would be preparation such as marking utilities and making room for the concrete pad. If a pad does not already exist, or the digging the hole for the column. And then the full installation of pouring concrete, drilling the holes for the anchors, assembly and installation of it, and cleaning up. The anchors are designed to not be removed. We drill the hole. You end up taking the actual anchor, hammering it in, and when you tighten down the bolt, it expands in the concrete, so you can't take it out. And then the part 6 of the online toolbox, made by scouts, free for anyone. I already own a fair handful of video equipment and software for editing videos, and it's easily accessible by a QR code or a URL on the bike stand. You can scan it with a standard smartphone or any smartphone that has camera and internet capabilities. I think the remote died here. All right, and that would be the end of my presentation. Any questions?
Always be prepared, Landon.
I like that. Makes life a little easier.
Thank you for your presentation, and I appreciate your desire to add a bike repair station to our bike trail. And I'm glad you ended up with the location that you picked, because I think that's a great location, close to downtown, very high traffic area by that Rotary train depot, which is a nice resting spot and also has a water fountain, etc. So great location. Question for you, are you going to make the videos yourself?
Me and my troop will make the videos and they'll be uploaded to likely YouTube as the unlisted video.
Sure. That's really quite unique. That's great. How much do you anticipate the cost of this project to be?
So there are two versions, the standard public bike stand, which can we go to the second slide, please? That we have an image of it.
I know, it's like watching paint dry.
Yep, there it is. All right. So the standard public bike work stand on the bottom right is $775 from the Park and Facilities Catalog. That's the full name. It will be a order, and I have tried contacting them, but they have not gotten to me back to me on how it would be delivered. And then the one on the top left is the deluxe public bike work stand. It is $1,845. It does include the bike pump attached to the back of it. The bike pump is also designed to be vandal and tamper resistant.
Okay, and you intend to fundraise for this project?
Yes.
And long-term, as far as maintenance goes, will there be funds, if there are extra funds fundraised, could those be provided to our Parks and Rec Department in order to pay for tools that get snipped off or replacement parts or things of that nature?
Yes. Another recurring maintenance thing that would be involved with it would be with the pump, there's seals in it. So it'd be occasionally just taking it apart, making sure that the seals are good, and occasional replacement of the seal or lubrication.
Are you leaning towards one or the other of those two options?
I'm preferring the deluxe one, but the standard one will also do the same job.
Okay, and we can work with our Parks and Rec team on a final decision, I'm sure, on that one.
Yeah, you guys have an amazing Parks and Rec team, by the way.
I agree. Any other questions from the Plan Commission on this matter?
Landon, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was going to say, Landon, great presentation. I'm very impressed with how well you speak and how well you've pitched this project. And when you get to the fundraising stage, please reach out. As something biking and a former Trek employee myself, this is something I'm very passionate about, and I'd love to support your project.
Thank you.
Hi, Landon. Again, thank you for your great presentation. I would like to say that just from an information management perspective, I think that having the videos not necessarily only available on YouTube would be preferable if you're thinking about long-term storage for these, and to have a place where you know that the QR code will continue to work into the future. You don't want to have sort of broken links for some of these videos in the future. So just something to think about, as you are trying to find out where your landing page is going to be and how you are going to ensure that the videos that you will make will be useful for everyone.
Yes, thank you. That is a very good point to bring up as well. Like with my troop website, I have embedded the YouTube videos from our courts of honor and stuff on our private website, and you need to log in to view that through Google. And I know that Google does make some hosting solutions like Google Drive, which we could also use.
Yeah, we could possibly help you with the city's website as well.
Yeah.
On that. Okay, if there are no other questions, I would entertain a motion to recommend that the city council approve this public monument review project.
So moved.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, and it looks like we don't have any conditions. So I would like to ask you if you would be willing to come back on the 3rd to present this to the city council for a final review and approval on the 3rd at 7 p.m. We would have it set up kind of the same way that it is here tonight. The council meets in this room. And council member and plan commission member Eric Schultz will be here hopefully in person, and you can hit him up for donations then. And if there are any other folks who are interested in that, the whole city council would be here. So any final questions or comments from the plan commission on this matter? Okay, all those in favor of recommending approval to the city council, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is review and possible recommendation to the city council relating to the zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property located at 211 Memorial Drive from single-family residential, SR5 to institutional. And we had the presentation already on this matter. So if the plan commission has questions, we have Mr. Drager up here.
I would like to add just a couple
Oh,
things to
sure.
address Mrs. Benson's questions about the institutional there. The current use or the previous use of the dental office, in my opinion, would be one of the higher traffic uses of that area. There's also office uses in there, or a clinic, which in my opinion would have a smaller traffic pattern or traffic use in there. I also would like to say that any changes to the parking and access to that site would require more review through the site plan review. And so all of those things would be scrutinized through the city to make sure that they're not increasing hazards or issues with the neighborhood.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And those site plan review, if there were changes to the parking lot or in addition or changes to the building, those would come through the plan commission for review and approval in a public meeting.
Correct.
Thank you.
Change of use. I don't know. The site plan review, I don't believe we get a public hearing on that one.
Not necessarily a public hearing, but at a public meeting.
Yes,
that
sorry.
We would look
Yes,
at. Thank you.
public meeting for sure.
Okay. You mentioned in your other presentation that there was a conditional use for this clinic use?
Previously, yes. Yep.
Previously? Okay.
Yep. That was under our old zoning code, which allowed for that. Our current zoning ordinance does not allow for a conditional use of this sort under the single family.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Questions from other plan commissioners on this matter?
Yeah, I have a question. Do we know what obviously the zoning change could imply many things in the future. Are there current plans already for what this may be used for?
Nothing in concrete. The review is specifically just for the zoning. However, the applicant did state they had a potential renter for the space, which would be office space. It was for
Okay.
a hospice care, but not for the care of anybody. It's for their base offices. So it would be a decrease in traffic.
Okay, understood.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the plan commission? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to recommend that the city council review and approve this zoning map amendment for the property located at 211 Memorial Drive.
So moved.
second,
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any final questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so this matter will go before the city council. It will be an ordinance, so it will have at least 2 readings, potentially 3 readings in front of the city council. Okay, the next item on the agenda is review and possible action on a conditional use permit relating to a request for small engine sales and repair facility to be located at 1200 Whitewater Avenue. Mr. Drager.
Oh, yes, so we've had this before us with the public hearing previously at the previous meeting where we did not have any public comment. I have not heard anything from the neighboring properties as well. Just a little review. This is a current commercial property that has been used for a similar use of this sort with engine work or sales of equipment for a number of years. Most recently has been used as a privately as storage for the Klopsic Trust that however owns it now. Don Hupke of the Hupke Power Center is proposing to put a small engine repair and sales facility into use in the existing building. This would require a conditional use permit where the city can review all the proposed uses and put stipulations on those if the plan commission deems necessary. Discussion has been had with the applicant about outside storage or any signage or any changes to the property that would require additional plan commission approval, as well as stating that no outside storage is proposed for that and everything will be done inside. It is similar to the surrounding area. There are storage units across the way. There's other types of businesses in the area. So looking at the comp plan and current uses around the area, we don't see any adverse effects from this use. There are a couple things that were discussed with the applicant about the gravel around the lot. And the applicant did state that there are plans to remove that and pave it, as well as return some to green space over time. It is understood that starting a new business, that's a big investment. So as you'll see in some conditions there, staff's recommendations for a timeline on those things, pretty much trying to make it a little bit easier, not forcing it to happen right this second, as that would be a costly endeavor. From that, I guess I would welcome any questions from Plan Commission on that, but like I said, this did held public hearing without any comment, and staff recommends approval of this conditional use permit with the conditions stated there. I guess I could read those off. Staff recommends the Plan Commission approve the requested conditional use permit, stipulating that outside storage shall not be permitted unless the applicant applies to amend this conditional use permit and receives Plan Commission approval. Applicant must submit a site restoration plan to the city within 3 months from the approval of the CUP, showing stabilization of all gravel surfaces within 5 years. Stabilization includes removal of gravel to create green space and or landscaping, paving, gravel area with asphalt or concrete or other plans that are acceptable to the Plan Commission. To the city staff. And then just to note that all proposed site and building signage shall be approved through the Plan Commission through site plan review.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
Questions from the Plan Commission on this matter?
Are the owners in agreement or at least understanding of these?
The
Conditions.
owner, yeah, I guess the question would be more for the applicant. The Hupke Power Center is purchasing this property from the Klopsic Trust. So I have spoken with Don Hupke about the gravel and needing it to be replaced, but giving it a timeline. I did not specifically speak to the 5 years. That is a time that the city staff thought would be an acceptable period of time to fix the site from erosion and stormwater runoff.
All right, thank you.
I think it'll be nice to see this building used for a use aside from just from storage. So it'll be nice to bring people, have another option for small engine repair in the city and encourage new business here. So I think this is a this is a good use for a building that looks like it was designed and or could definitely accommodate this use. So I think that's
Mhm.
great. I think the 5-year timeline to, I mean, a 3-month timeline to come up with a plan, I think is appropriate. And then to allow that plan to kind of take place over the next 5 years to allow for the investment. And as we've mentioned before, the city has a couple different programs, including our Capital Catalyst revolving loan fund and potentially some other options to assist in some of that investment as well. So we can work together on some of those things.
That was relayed to the applicant as well.
Perfect.
Jed, did you say Don knows about that, however,
Which one?
as far as what he needs to do within a certain time period?
We've discussed, not the time period, what needs to be done to the site with the gravel, landscaping or returning to green space, but not the time frame of 5 years.
Okay, thanks. Oh, are you gonna make him, are you gonna give him that knowledge so he's well aware of it before he closes?
I figured that was happening right this moment. He's actually in the audience here, so.
Oh, I was looking for younger son, but okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we have a recommendation from staff to approve this conditional use permit, subject to the 3 conditions outlined in the staff report, that outdoor storage is not permitted unless this conditional use permit is amended by the Plan Commission. The applicant must submit that site restoration plan within 3 months, showing stabilization of the gravel surfaces within 5 years. And then all proposed site and building signage shall be approved by the Plan Commission prior to installation.
I'll also mention that Don has tentatively proposed some signage for the site already that will be coming before Plan Commission in time here.
Excellent.
Right.
Okay, is there a motion by the
yeah.
Plan Commission?
Yeah, I move to approve the requested conditional use permit for a small engine sale and repair facility to be located at 1200 Whitewater Avenue with the conditions outlined in the Plan Commission packet.
Second,
We have Roz Highfield on the meeting.
sorry.
No, thank you,
Sorry.
Roz. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any final questions or comments relating to this matter? Okay, hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Final item on the agenda is adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, we are adjourned at 4:33 PM. Thank you, everybody.